Hi friends. In this video, we are going to see the topic of tracking number groups in Microsoft Dynamics 365 Finance and Operation. If you are watching my video for the first time, then my name is Sriram Sivashankaran. I have been making videos constantly about Dynamics 365 supply chain modules, and now we are into the inventory management module. If you want to get regular updates, please do follow my profile. So, in order to navigate to tracking number groups, select inventory management, click on setup, and then select dimension and tracking number group. So the tracking number groups are basically an option, a functionality in D365 using which you can create automated batch numbers and serial numbers. So during the any physical update of your transactions. So I will explain you in detail as we get into the process. So in order to create tracking number groups, first of all, you also need to ensure that the tracking number groups need to be assigned to the respective products in the released product section. So let's say in order to create a new tracking number group, first you click on new, give the group number, ID, and name, and then there will be two for steps: general and activation. So the general for step consists of first the following four toggles: date, reference number, lot ID, and number sequence. So the batch number which you want the system to generate automatically, if you want the batch number to consider the delivery date, then you need to enable this toggle. So as you can see, the help text clearly says delivery date and it will be displayed in the format of YYMMDD. So in this batch number group, I click on edit. I enable date. I'll disable number sequence physical update and maybe I'll explain this in later part of the video. So I have enabled date. But date alone cannot be used in case of your tracking number groups. If I click on save, its system throws a warning saying that reference number, lot number need to be considered or the number sequence need to be activated. So I'm going to activate the reference number. What is the reference number? Reference number basically generates because of your purchase order or production order, the corresponding number generated because of your purchase order or production order or whatever may be the transaction. But also you need to ensure that corresponding activations are required in case of purchase or inventory or in case of production. So the activation has to be enabled. So let's say with this setup, we save this particular tracking number group and we need to assign this tracking number group in the item master. So I have already created an item in order to save the time and I need to navigate to manage inventory first tab, right? So here I have assigned the batch number tracking number group batch date BT date, right? So I have not assigned serial number group because in the tracking dimension group, I have activated only batch number and I have not activated serial number. So that's the reason I'm giving only batch number. So I'm asking the system to generate automated batch numbers based on this group PT date. So I save it. So in other tab, I have already created a purchase order in order to save time. So I will quickly add the line. So I will add the respective item number. So once I add the item number, I need to give the quantity. I'm giving a quantity maybe 2000. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to confirm this purchase order. The moment when I confirm it, you can see that the batch number, probably next time I will scroll the bar, the batch number is generated automatically, right? So this is based on the today's date 31/1/24 YYMMDD, and also it has considered the purchase order reference 87 is also taken. So the batch number has been generated automatically. So when you close, if you go to receipt and product receipt, and if you close this product receipt, this batch number will be utilized. So if I go to registration page, you can see that the batch number is copied over here. So this is automatically generated, right? So the other possible scenario is using the lot ID, right? First, I will remove this line. In the tracking number group, the other option is using the lot ID. Lot ID is basically the unique ID based on the respective inventory transactions and dimensions, which the system maintains in the backend. So you can also use this lot ID. This is a unique reference because purchase order can have multiple lines within it, but lot ID will be unique for each and every transaction. So if I save this, now in the purchase order, I will add the line. I will add the same item number TNG testing, and then I will just add a quantity, maybe 1800. Then now if I go to purchase and then if I confirm it, you can see the batch number will be generated not based on your purchase order number, but it will be based on your lot ID. So how to know this lot ID is correct? So if we include the lot ID from the insert column. So I'm going to insert the lot ID. So I have clicked on insert column from the three dots. So now just, I think this is, yeah. So lot ID, there is one more lot ID which is not relevant to us. So since this is not required, so if I include the lot ID, you can see this is the lot ID for this particular line 021470. So same lot ID is used to generate the batch number. So with this, we will be able to automatically close the product receipt using this automated generated batch number, right? So again, I'm going to delete this line. So instead, if I don't wish to use the reference number or lot ID, but I want to use a number sequence based on which I want to automatically generate the batch number every time, then you enable the number sequence. And also you need to tag a number sequence. In this video, I'm not going to discuss in detail about how to generate a number sequence, but instead I am going to explain you about the tracking number group. So that's why, sorry, I think I have just copied it. uh, yeah, I will, yeah, I will take the same bash number sequence code, because in another document which I published in LinkedIn, I have already clearly mentioned about how to create a number sequence code and tag it for your purchase orders. Please do check out that particular document. So now let's get back to the our video of tracking number group. So if I want to generate a batch number based on date and a specific number sequence, and I click on save, you see here I have not enabled the transactions toggle. So with this, if I create a line, let's say how the system behaves. So I'm going to add the item, then now I'm going to give the quantity was night and whatever it is as per your requirement. The moment if I click on confirm, you see the batch number is generated along with the number sequence code which we have tagged 1099, right? So this is because of the number sequence code which we have tagged. So this is actually generated when we confirm the purchase order, right? So probably in some cases this is not relevant, because there is no point in generating the batch number the moment when we are confirming the purchase order. So in those cases, whenever an inventory transaction is performed, I may need to update the batch number. So in those cases, let's say I will remove this line. In those cases, you need to enable only for inventory transactions. In those cases, what happens is whenever a transaction is being performed, at that time, system will generate the batch numbers. Right. So I will disable the date. I'll click on only for inventory transactions. When only for inventory transactions is enabled, then you will also have the option to enter the quantity. In say in case of serial control items, you can give one for in, let's say you want to track it for each and every quantity, what is the serial number, then in those cases you can give one. If I give the quantity as 100, then for every 100 quantity a batch number or serial number will be generated, right? So now I have given the quantity as 100. Now I click on save. Now let's see how the system behaves. Now I will add the line. I will add the same item, TNG testing, and then I'm going to give a quantity as 1400. Okay, 1400. Now I'm going to confirm this purchase order. The moment when I confirm this, system is not actually going to generate the batch number over here, right? Because system, when we get into the product receipt page, and if we navigate to registration, then you can see multiple lines which are generated. You see, since we have given the option in the tracking number group as per quantity 100, system has already generated the batch numbers based on the number sequence code which we have tagged over here, and generated multiple batches for the 1400 quantity. So there may be 14 batches. So I can add it, and then based on each and every batch of 100 quantity, whenever I receive it from the vendor, I can complete the product receipt. This is the next option. So the other option which we are going to see is, let's say I will remove this line again. So in the tracking number group, if I enable physical update, because you will not be able to enable this physical update if the only for inventory transaction is disabled, then you will not be able to enable the physical update. This physical update means until unless you do a physical update, let's say in case of purchase order, doing registration is a physical update. In case of production order, doing RAF is a physical update. When the physical update of the transaction happens, only at that time if you want to generate the batch number, then you need to enable this toggle as physical update, right? So I'll show you what is the difference. So once I have enabled it, I have saved this. Now again I'm going to add the line. So now I'll add the line, but this time system is not going to generate the patch numbers automatically in the registration page. What I'm trying to say is, first I will confirm this purchase order with 1200 quantity. I'm confirming this purchase order. So after confirmation, if I get inside the product receipt page, inside the registration, you will not see multiple lines. So I'm going into the registration page. You see now here we don't have 14 lines or 12 lines based on the quantity, because in the per quantity we have given 100. So the physical update has not happened as of now. But when we do the registration, I'm going to add the line. So let's say I have received a 430 quantity from the vendor, and then when I click on confirm registration, system is going to generate 5 batches, 100 for the 4 different batches and 30 remaining for another. A new batch is created for the 30 remaining, right? So by this way, when a physical update actually happens, registration registered means the physical update which is happening in the system. So when a physical update happens, D365 creates a batch number, and with that batch number we will be able to close the product receipt. So this is about tracking number group. Similarly, you can create a serial number group, and then you can, but you need to ensure that in the release product, in the tracking dimension group, the serial number is activated, and then you can do a serial number tracking also. And of course, a purchase activation is important in case of purchase order related transactions, and in case of production order related transactions, a production activation is important, right? So that's it for today. So I hope you got an idea about tracking number groups. Please do follow my profile if you want to get regular updates about Microsoft Dynamics 365 Finance and Operation. Thank you.